right, welcome to Six Sigma Music and Sports. My name's Barry Fomer. I appreciate you tuning in. We are here with the Major League Eating President, Richard Shea. Richard, how you doing?
I'm doing really well. How you doing?
Great. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today. Just getting a little bit of background with the MLE. I know it was you and your brother George that started the league. How did it get started, and when did it start?
In the late 90s, actually. It was 97, 98 when we formed the league. We've been doing the eating contest. George, actually, for a number of years had been doing the publicity for it, and it started getting bigger and bigger, and we realized that there was no one group that was sort of sanctioning these events, maintaining their safety, and maintaining, archiving the records, and also, promoting them so that, more and more people could see it. There were no real sponsors or anything, really no sponsors. There was nothing. We developed the league, and we started giving it the structure of like a traditional sport with rankings and different titles and things like that. And it's all done really well. We've had great success. We've had a lot of fun. And now, it's risen to the level where there's, big prizes and there's television and all that.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I know the prizes. It's amazing what these guys can earn. I was reading that it can be anywhere from $40,000 to $100,000 a year that these competitors can make.
Yeah, and perhaps more. I think Joey will definitely get north of 100 this year. The thing is, the prizes. You might have an event where there is no prize, or there's a $500 prize, or whatever it is, and some guys might, some of the eaters who are less, who have fewer titles and things, may only pad their wallets a little bit, or cover their travel, but they're still having a lot of fun out there. And so there's the hobbyist kind of guy who's kind of getting his feet wet, and then there's the Joey Chestnuts and the Eater X's and Kobayashi for a long time, doing quite well out there on the circuit.
Yeah. Now I got to ask you, was the MLE developed over a meal?
In fact, we did. We went and had a steak. Yeah. A couple steaks, and these great. I'll never forget these great potatoes. The steakhouse is now gone, but it was a good spot.
Yeah. Now talking about the competitors, how does one get signed to a MLE contract?
They typically we go out and we have a lot of events where people who've never competed compete, and then guys who start to get into it and have a lot of fun with it. Usually, will sign up because certain events, you have to be be an MLE member to be in the event. So that's what typically happens. And then they also, these guys want to get ranked and things like that, and they want to be recognized. And so we have about 300 to 400 members, I think, and then we have about 50 active people who we rank, and we do the rankings, every quarter.
Right. And now, speaking of rankings, just going off the rankings that you guys have on MLE website there, just going through them, you have Joey Chestnut, who's at number 1 right now. You have Bob Shrout, is that right?
Shout, yeah.
Shout. And then the Godfather, Kobayashi, at number 3, and then Patrick Bertoletti. And then Sonia, the Black Widow Thomas, is at number 5. How do you guys come up with these rankings? Is it how many they've won throughout the year, or?
Yeah, it depends on what year. When you'll see that when those rankings were done, Kobayashi had won the Crystal Square off, so that would be weighted pretty heavily because he won against all the great eaters in the world. Joey is the winner. Joey's been on a tear, but he's the winner of the hot dog eating contest, and that's certainly the toughest one and has been for a while. He also, Joey had 12 victories, MLE victories over the past year. And then you basically look at the number of contests, the level of competition, and sort of the import of the contest. You'll get like 6 to 8 people around the table and look at this stuff, and that's how we do it. And Sonia is to be commended because Sonia Thomas is, one of really, there are 3 active female eaters. Sonia, for years, has been the best female in the game and really one of the best eaters in the game, and she beats the men still today, and she's won oyster titles, crawfish title, cherry stone clam eating title this year alone, and she's actually on her way to Puerto Rico to eat some tacos to help out the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind going there with her if there's any chance of me heading over there. I like tacos very much.
In Puerto Rico, it sounds like a good trip.
Yeah, that would be.
Doing sitting here in New York.
That would be an excellent one. Now, you've got over 80 events that your competitors compete in. I know some of them, of course, is the Nathan hot dog eating competition. You got the Slurpee competition, which is very interesting to me, where these guys take down a 22-ounce Slurpee in 9 seconds. Is that right?
Yeah, it was the first time we'd done that. I think it might have been 8. I've been saying 8, but correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, we did a 3-city tour in Australia. Pat Bertoletti was down there. they do what they call it sports slurping, and it was the first time we worked with them. First time they did a tour, and apparently it was a lot of fun. And by the end of it, I think, Pat was doing a 22-ounce Slurpee in about 8 seconds. The first half of it he has to do with a straw, and then he can chug it.
Wow, that's called a little bit of a brain freeze, I would think, on that one. But going into, you go all around the world, these competitors, are eating. I know there was a competition, the shrimp wonton eating competition in Singapore, where basically between the competitors who I know of were Joey Chestnut and Kobayashi, and Joey Chestnut ended winning up there. It seems like it's a pretty good rivalry that's going between Chestnut and Kobayashi. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, and it sets it up for a very good event that you guys had on July 4th with the Nathan's Eating competition. What was the situation where, I know Kobayashi wasn't able to compete in the hot dog eating competition? Can you kind of go into detail with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. Everyone on that stage is a member of Major League Eating. So I think I said in some article somewhere that, Tom Brady's a member of the NFL, and so as a result, he gets to compete in the Super Bowl. I think if he wasn't a member, he wouldn't. So it's pretty simple. I mean, members of Major League Eating, we have a contract with our eaters, and they basically agree to compete in our events, and that way that our sponsors don't get conflicts. So if you have great sponsors, we had Old Navy doing the shirts this year, and Heinz Ketchup was back again, and we had Pepto-Bismol for the first time. You might have seen Joey going after the Pepto at the end there.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of, and also advancing the sport. Having some having unity in the league and being able to make these guys stars and just keep advancing it. And it's always been the way it was. And we took this from nothing, really. I mean, and made it a big thing that's televised on ESPN and is drawing big sponsors and prize purses and stuff. And we believe that continuing on the way we've been going is the way to go.
Yeah. Now, with the competition, Joey Chestnut ends up winning the competition with 54 hot dogs and buns that he ate, which is down from his 68 that he won the previous year. Do you find that, with the numbers being down, do you think it was contributed to maybe Kobayashi not being there and Joey knowing that really the competition really isn't, nobody there is going to really challenge him?
Well, I don't actually, Bob Shout, Eater X, and Pat Bertoletti have all beaten Joey in competition within the last year. So I don't think you can say that no one will challenge him because he's been beaten a couple times by those guys. And in fact, if you look at, Joey ate 55 this year. Last year, Pat Bertoletti Joey ate 54 this year. Last year, Pat Bertoletti ate 55. So, and Pat Bertoletti ate 37 this year. So everyone was down across the board, and Joey would never say it, but I heard a couple of the guys saying it was really incredibly hot. And then if you look at Eater X, who placed second, he ate 45 this year. He ate 52 last year. So across the board, they were down. Certainly Kobayashi's a great champion, no doubt about it. Won 6 in a row, and it's always a good matchup when he's going against Joey. But I don't think it took much away from the contest.
How do you think it can be resolved where Kobayashi, especially I know there's, like we talked about, many events that go on throughout the year, but what do you think it's going to take to be able to make sure, which we
I don't know where we are yet. I think that obviously after what happened, he's got some things he's got to resolve, and I hope he's able to resolve them quickly and painlessly. And I really shouldn't comment because I don't know where it's all going to go.
Right. And so I know you talked about the Pepto-Bismol being the sponsor there. Is this where, with Joey Chestnut being the winner, he's the one that gets to hail up the Pepto-Bismol?
Yeah, it would have been. What I think would have been fun is if, like, when the football guys, when they win a thing, they get the Gatorade over their back. You know what I mean? But I think it would take an awful lot of bottles.
Yeah.
Dave's got it's a good match because these guys basically do go for the Pepto. And we're thrilled, obviously, to have that level of sponsor there. And it shows that the event is incredible. I've never seen a bigger crowd in my life. It was the hottest day I think we've ever had the contest, and despite that, we had the biggest crowd ever. I mean, someone put it at 75,000.
Wow.
I talked to a police officer; he said it's definitely north of 50,000. So it's just getting bigger and bigger every year, and it was amazing. At 8:30 a.m., I get out there at 7. At 8:30 a.m., that we already filled the front of the stage.
Yeah, that is amazing. What sort of competitions are coming up next for the MLE?
The fall holds all kinds of great stuff. The most immediate one is Joey's going to eat ribs in Chinook Winds out in Oregon, and then the next big one in the summertime is the Buffalo wing eating competition in Buffalo. It's a 3-day affair, and I believe Joey's indicated he's going to be there for that.
That was Richard Shea, the Major League Eating president. We want to thank him for taking the time to talk with us. 10 solid minutes with Richard Shea. So we appreciate him talking to us. I know there was the issue with Kobayashi, with him getting arrested after the event. Kind of talked to him a little bit before. They talked about his brother George, Richard's brother, who started the league with him. Said that, doesn't feel it was a criminal act. It was more an act of, desperation. So hopefully they can get this resolved, and Kobayashi can get back in there and win the 2011 Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Competition. So really do appreciate Richard Shea's time, and hopefully we can talk to him again.